When the facts bend reality, this is beyond plausible.
An elongated salt pan that seems endless, a place dominated by ancient, barren landscapes. The fields and lands here have only grass and the sporadic appearance of large trees. This is Etosha, the homeland of an ancient community. The Bushmen have lived here for 10,000 years. The traces and heritage of their ancestors have been etched into the rock and the genes of their descendants today. Etosha is home to a surprisingly large number of wild animals, despite having very little rainfall that lasts only a short time each year. The conditions here are very harsh. Besides the salt flats, the only other option is the desert. But life in Etosha is still relatively easier compared to the desert. Life and the struggle for survival here seem never-ending. This video tells the story of Etosha, a dusty white land, along with the waterholes that create life in this place. The arid, dusty plains are home to many species. Although limited, herbivores can find food even during the dry season. Vast grasslands with the presence of shrubs and acacia trees help livestock survive. However, the scarce and available food is spread over a very large area. Animals must constantly move. In Etosha, zebras live on the edge of the land. They cannot survive in the desert. Instead, zebras roam these lands in search of food and survive here with scarce resources. Until the rainy season arrives and the grass turns green, zebras will need to find every possible way to survive temporarily. The scorching sun is burning the barren lands of Africa. Then come the insects and difficult parasites. Rolling in dust might be the best solution until they reach water. The gensbok is perhaps the animal best adapted to drought in southern Namibia. Evolved to live in the most desolate parts of the desert, Etosha is a paradise for these creatures even in the dry season. They know for sure that eventually, they will pass by a waterhole. This place is not as harsh as the desert. There is some food and a bit of shade. The animals are covered in dust. This seemingly endless journey has lasted many days and passed through barren lands that will soon come to an end. They have become thirsty and exhausted. It's not just the scorching heat or hunger and thirst. Zebras and antelopes in Etosha face many other threats. This is the Lions National Park. These lions are extremely satisfied with the available food in Etosha. They only need to search around their territory. While these recently born lion cubs are playing, the older, more experienced ones are pursuing their next meal. The male lion is resting not far from his family. Teeny to hunt, the lion also feels no need to hide from the hoofed animals. The springbok is one of the most resilient residents in southern Africa. It can survive without water for many consecutive days. With its light brown fur, white belly, and dark stripes running along its body, the springbok becomes almost invisible to predators in the open. In areas with abundant food, herds of springbok can gather up to thousands of individuals. Springboks prefer to live in open areas and grasslands. The endless, treeless grasslands of Etosha are their ideal feeding grounds. Without hiding places, predators can hardly approach the antelopes without being noticed. When there are no predators, conflicts with their own kind are the biggest struggle in Etosha. Both male and female springboks have horns, but the females are slightly shorter. The male's heart-shaped horns are the most powerful weapon in battles for territory and mates. Dominant males want to claim control over territories near waterholes. It knows that females will need to come here to quench their thirst. Control over water means control over females. This male is patrolling his territory. He does not tolerate strangers intruding here. However, his dominance is constantly threatened by other males. A fight is inevitable. It's time to use his strong neck and healthy horns. The loser will have to leave the area. However, soon other males will approach the area controlled by the victor. Battles for territory and displays of power occur in a relatively short time. Dominance over a waterhole in Etosha can change hands several times a day. Even the strongest male antelopes can only win a few battles and maintain control over the area for a short time. Sunset in Etosha arrives, and the animals here prepare to escape the heat after a day of struggle. Mammals hiding in the thickets and darkness begin to emerge. Nocturnal animals now take turns coming to the waterhole. For the black rhino. During the day, we can hardly see the presence of this prehistoric creature here. They only appear after night falls and the air becomes more pleasant and cooler. Rhinos may have poor eyesight, but their sense of smell and hearing are extremely sharp. After a hot day, it is very thirsty, even though it's just dusk. But the rhino must also ensure there are no threats around the waterhole. The elephant is not a threat at this moment. Other herbivores will not bother it either. It's time to quench this raging thirst. As night falls, a waterhole among the bushes holds one of Etosha's greatest mysteries. This is where black rhinos gather. Although black rhinos do not live in herds, gathering at waterholes during the dry season is an exception. It can smell the scent of other rhinos nearby. Now is a quiet time. The rhino will drink and then quietly return to the plains. Clashes between individual rhinos are inevitable. The peace they share in the water lasts only briefly. As a new day begins in Etosha, the hyena has made the most of the night to hunt and replenish its energy. Now it's time for it to quench its thirst. However, in this harsh land, sometimes the hunter becomes the prey. This hyena has encountered an uninvited guest, a lion. Daylight exposes the harshest truths. A black rhino is the loser in last night's battle among the beasts. Jackals have caught the scent of the unfortunate animal. Jackals are intelligent and patient predators. With abundant food around, the jackal knows it will at least get the leftovers. The rhino is a great prize for the lion pride. It not only fills the lion's bellies, but also ensures that for at least the next few days, the king of the savannah won't have to worry about hunting. These are the gentle giants of Etosha, giraffes. They are the tallest mammals on the planet. Giraffes are regular wanderers across this pristine land. Females and young gather in herds, but their social structure is quite loose. They often stay together only briefly before splitting up and joining another herd. Etosha is a very dangerous place for the young. They must always stay close to their mother. The animal population in Etosha is more concentrated in favorable areas with water sources. Different herds of animals gather in these areas. The largest flightless birds are also the best at enduring heat and drought. They roam the African savanna and desert in pairs or groups, foraging together. With eyes larger than their brains and extremely long necks, these giant birds can easily survey vast open spaces. Leopards or lions can hardly approach an ostrich without being detected. However, they also face danger when drinking. Ostriches must approach water slowly and carefully check the surrounding area. If threatened, the ostrich's only escape is to run as fast as possible. Giraffes or antelopes are not a threat to them. However, caution is never excessive. They are very vulnerable when lowering their heads to drink. Has impressive animal populations, offering some of the planet. Oryx may not rely as heavily on water as other species, but they still take the opportunity to replenish. As they begin their long journey for food, they are unsure when they will find another waterhole. Africa's giants have also reached the waterhole. The lead elephant relies on instinct and experience to know the location of all waterholes in the area. However, it is also uncertain whether there will be water when they arrive. Unlike many other species, for elephants, water is not just for quenching thirst but also for play. Bathing and playing are important activities for developing social relationships. They must make the most of this opportunity. Every corner of Etosha holds surprises. Animals must always be vigilant. Those who have finished drinking need to return to the herd quickly and move to the open plains for safety. Otherwise, this could be the last waterhole they ever see. Water sources are also crucial for birds. This is the only habitat for aquatic birds in Etosha. After foraging on the savanna, African guinea fowl approach the water's edge. They cannot survive without drinking regularly. The Kori bustard is one of the heaviest birds capable of flight. It must be cautious when drinking due to its inability to escape quickly. Taking off with such a heavy body requires a lot of energy. Therefore, it prefers walking. Namakwa doves are also thirsty after a long journey. They are birds that can fly over 100 kilometers daily in search of water. But this is a perilous journey. It is also a time when jackals lie in wait. Where there is abundant prey, there are also many predators. All creatures find happiness by the water's edge. But they are also exhausted and vulnerable. They do not want jackals approaching them. It would be unwise for this jackal to provoke zebras or antelopes. It is best for it to leave immediately. Birds have an advantage over jackals because they can fly. The jackal is trying its luck, but most bird hunts usually end in failure. This time, the jackal was fortunate. Its hungry belly was partially filled. Tomorrow will be another day. As long as water remains, the birds will surely return, and the jackals will wait. Etosha remains a hot, dusty natural wonder, an arid region with very little rainfall. Most animals and plants cannot survive under such harsh conditions. Waterholes are the sole lifeline for these creatures. Life here always has two extremes, life and death. Vicious predators await thirsty animals coming to the waterhole in hopes of survival. Nature always finds a way to adapt, and when it cannot, it continues to evolve to adapt. Life goes on at Etosha, and the animals will remain part of this cycle until the last drop of water disappears.
Curious? Subscribe and step through the next anomaly.